WAOH is brought to you in part by Ohio's #1 trusted real estate team, The Young Team. Online at theyoungteam.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Good Morning Akron. And today I'm here with Michelle Camou at the Akron Zoo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it. Now, I wanted to talk to you about something a little specific, something that you have going on at the Akron Zoo. I know that you guys obviously take care of the billions of animals that you have there, but besides the animals, you guys are doing something with this month celebrating Black History in Perkins Woods. I wanted to bring that up a little bit. Could you tell me just a little bit of overview over the exhibit?
Sure. Well, celebrating Black History in Perkins Woods is a special history exhibit that we've prepared for Black History Month, and really to just celebrate some of the Black community's contributions to the property that we now know of as the zoo. And so much of the history that we talk about, it explores and coincides with the growth of Akron.
Right.
And sort of expressions
right.
that different community members wanted to make about their experiences.
That's awesome.
And their the legacy they wanted to leave for the city. And they chose to do it on the property that's now the zoo.
Right, right. So we're kind of intertwined with that history almost in a way, which is so awesome. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that too. I know you said that there is a lot of history going into it, but I did just, if you could give us maybe a little bit of overview of the history and insights that we would see in the exhibit.
Sure. Well, there are really three major events or themes that we cover in the exhibit. So in the chronologically, the first topic that we take a look at is the creation of the John Brown Monument, which
right.
is in a monument on the grounds at the zoo that is a memorial to the abolitionists.
Oh, okay.
And actually, German immigrants started the monument, and a Black community group, a social club, finished it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the German immigrants placed the central piece
right.
of the monument in 1910. And then in 1938, a group called the Negro 25-Year Club, they invested their time, their energy, and, really their passion in creating bench seating.
Okay.
And placing a sculpture of John Brown himself.
Wow.
And really both groups, what tied them together, they looked to John Brown as a symbol of liberty,
okay.
and liberty that they were still pursuing,
right?
For their own groups.
Right, of course.
Then the second theme in the exhibit takes a look at really an effort by the community to keep the zoo at its present location.
Right.
So in about 1969, the city of Akron at the time was running the zoo.
Right.
And
right.
they had an idea to move it to, pretty much the line of Summit, of Akron and Cuyahoga Falls.
Right.
And the community, this was a time when the community surrounding Perkins Park, right, the zoo.
Right. Formerly known as.
Yeah, was, it was experiencing a lot of change. The inner belt had been, kind of commissioned.
Right.
And they were beginning to clear homes and businesses from the area to make way for the highway. And at a period of so much loss, the community really worried about the impact of moving the zoo out of their neighborhood.
Of course. And I'm sure people were upset about, moving the zoo out of the neighborhood, and then they wouldn't have that sort of thing to all be able to go to in their community.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what they said, is that they worried that taking the zoo to a more remote part of Akron would isolate the neighborhood more.
Right.
More so than the inner belt was already making happen.
Right.
And they thought that it was really a wonderful place for people of multiple backgrounds to come and intermingle together, which it still serves that role today.
Right.
The final topic in the exhibit we cover a little custard stand.
Right. And I have seen that online, the custard stand.
Yeah.
It is an actual physical type of thing that is in the exhibit, something that you can kind of look inside and around. Yeah, I wanted to know more about that.
It's a fan favorite. So it's a place where you can walk inside, and there's little grills inside for kids to play with. And it's also a great place for a photo op or a selfie. And really, we wanted to just honor that custard stand, which still people to this day talk about and just absolutely love. Their memories of it. It was started in 1950 by a woman named Annabelle Crooks, and in 1968 a woman named Ernestine Carey bought it when Annabelle decided to retire. And so Annabelle put it there in 1950 when Akron was really going through a lot of growth and change as a result of the rubber industry building up here. And at that time, the Black community had been living like really in one area of the city, but now it was spreading out. And the custard stand became like the gathering spot for the entire community. And people really had an opportunity to meet each other and to mingle with each other, especially have some of their like cute teenage experiences right there at the custard stand. 1968, the neighborhood was beginning to change. And Mrs. Carey took it over at that time. And, you know, over the years she was there, you know, lots of job loss as the rubber industry changed, and there was income loss in the neighborhood as well, coincided with the highway project too, her time. And she really kept it going. She had a great business mind. Her, you know, family members that I've met today, you know, have just talk about her innovations. She put out a deluxe and a double at a time when, you know, they believed there weren't too many businesses that were doing that at the time. And she would do limited batches of her famous lemon custard to make it seem like it was always selling out. It's still, people still remember the taste and the look and the feel of it. And she also so she kept the store going at a time when it was more difficult to do so. Population was beginning to move out. She was there until the early 90s. But she also, you know, became kind of like the grandmother of the neighborhood. And so if someone was in need, they could go to Mrs. Carey and she would make sure that their need was met. So it's just a wonderful, you know, memory that we can help keep alive for people from the neighborhood that remember that custard stand. It unfortunately, when she retired, it just never found an owner that was able to keep it going. Maybe because it took someone as passionate as her to keep it going. It seems like she had quite a personality. You know, and just that, you know, people were drawn to her. And you know, the economy was more difficult in the mid-90s, and it did close. But now if you're driving by the Akron Zoo Hollywood sign, that yellow sign on the corner of Edgewood and Euclid, that is the spot where the custard stand was.
Oh, and that's where it actually was. And now people can actually come inside and see what it would have looked like, you know, during that time period. And they can't buy the custard, of course, but, you know, it's in thought. That's what matters.
Yes.
Of course. And you told me an interesting story, too, backstage when we talked about this previously about, I believe it was the son of the owner of the custard stand.
Yes. So a little boy named Milton Carey, I was just going through as I was preparing for, you know, just researching to help create the exhibit, which did involve 15 community members, and lots of Akron Zoo staff were involved as well. But I just encountered a newspaper clipping of him in a box. Had no idea who he was. And he, in 1971, I believe was the year, he won second place for the most volunteer hours of any student in Akron Public Schools. And he had volunteered at the zoo. I started Googling, as you do, and soon discovered that unfortunately he passed away in 1980. But he just so happened to be the son of Mrs. Carey, our custard stand owner. So for me, it just felt like kismet. You know, we need to tell the story of this custard stand because the family had a very personal connection to the zoo through her son.
Right. And I mean, what an even better thing to do if you can bring an exposition, you know, and kind of carry that out and whatnot. But the story behind it is, I feel like, what really makes it worth visiting and, you know, worth wanting to go to.
Absolutely. I think for me, it shows so many personal connections that people have to the zoo that, you know, they're not VIPs. They're not anything that is going to be written about in a history book. But they're very important to the zoo's history, the city's history, and we're just thrilled to be able to share those stories.
Yeah, of course. So if anybody is looking to go to the exhibit, I believe it is free with a zoo entry.
It's free with zoo admission, and the great thing about that is coming up February 28th, March 1st, and March 2nd. Those are inclusion days at the zoo.
Okay.
Supported by Summit DD. And if you wear orange to the zoo on any of those days, you get free admission completely, entirely.
Awesome.
So you can visit the zoo and visit the exhibit.
Yeah, of course. And if anybody is looking to visit the exhibit outside of zoo hours, where do they suggest that they go to kind of schedule that?
Yes, I am the one that people can come to if they would like to schedule a group tour or even a by appointment only opportunity to visit the exhibit. You can reach me at the zoo phone number 330-375-2550. Or you can email me at m.camou, C-A-M-O-U, @akronzoo.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And thank you so much for bringing a little piece of Black history to the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys go and check out that exhibit at the Akron Zoo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you right after this.